Alright, what's up everybody? So today I'm going to show you how to write SEO content that is friendly enough, that has the keywords, and that's going to rank for you. All you gotta do is follow this simple little, October 2019 guide, and I'll walk you through it. The only caveat to this is you have to have certain tools. That's just what I use. Maybe you have it in your budget, maybe you already have them. If not, I would recommend getting some money to do this if you want to focus on making quality content. For SEO right now, niches are really big. So maybe you don't want to be a jack of all trades, but you want to learn one specific skill that you could sell to somebody and make money from. Whether that could be Google My Business, Facebook optimization, Facebook business page creation, whatever. So the first thing you're going to want to have is SEMRush. And the second thing you want to have is called Ahrefs. We're going to use Ahrefs to find keywords that we want to rank a page for that's within our website's domain rating, right? We don't want to write content for something we can't necessarily rank. You can rank any content, it just takes a lot more work. So basically, again, so we have SEMRush, and we got to find a keyword. Once you're inside of SEMrush's dashboard, you'll want to click on your little drop down tab here. Everybody has this as a default on the left, and you'll just click into Content Marketing Toolkit, and then you just go to SEO Content Template. So what we're going to do is we are going to find some type of particular topic that we can hopefully rank for, as an example. So I am thinking of doing something like South Daytona plumbers. Let's see what this gives me. If there's not a lot of traffic volume, it's going to not really give you a lot of data. You can also confirm this by clicking on all keywords idea, and you see there's just no traffic for this. See if I can do this with South Daytona. Okay, it's a little bit better. We'll just go with Daytona. Let's do Gainesville. Daytona Beach plumbers. Alright, so we typed in a keyword into Ahrefs, and I'm sure you've seen plenty of the videos of this before. So we're gonna go ahead and just quickly try to find something within our DR. Let's say our DR is 15, right? This is what I'm talking about, DR. Basically your domain rating. So if I have a site that's 15, obviously I'm trying to go for 90. That doesn't make too much sense. You also want to pay attention to the traffic. So anything less than like 50, 100, you wouldn't really want to go for. This is pretty close. We could, because this is a 7, all these are high, but I don't like that. I want more lower ones. Plumber St. Augustine. Low search volume. Alright, perfect. That's what I'm looking for. So see how DR, I got some zeros in here, some 2s, and these are over 100. So I'm okay with showing you this for the example. So we're going to take this keyword right here, Daytona Beach plumbers, and then we're going to go into SEMrush, and we're going to go to SEO Content Template, which we found from hitting the drop down. Click on Content Marketing Toolkit. Go ahead and throw this keyword in and hit. You want to clear this out so it's not any cities, right? You don't really want that to show up unless you're geo-targeting, which I am. So I'm actually going to do for Florida, and I'm going to say for Daytona. So this keyword, right, Daytona Beach plumbers, when I run this content guide, SEMrush is going to give me the keywords that my competitors are using in my particular local business area. It's pretty cool. So I'm going to go ahead and create that, let that run for a moment. While that runs, I have a content brief I'm going to write out for you, and show you how you should structure and lay it out. All right, cool. So see, enrich your text with the following semantic related words. So it gave me these keywords here. I'm gonna go ahead and just highlight them all. All right, so I clicked down and dragged across. That's all I did, and then I Control C to copy it. Now I want to click on real-time content check. You'll see why I'm doing this. So inside of this, let's say you have your content brief done and you send it to a writer on Fiverr or Upwork, whatever you choose to use. Me personally, I use Upwork. When they send you the content back, you could just throw it into here. Okay. So when you throw the content into here, it's going to give you scores, right? Readability, overall, how many words you used, what's your target keyword in, and your keywords. Obviously these are green because they're right here. So what we're going to want to do is go ahead and copy all these because now they're laid out straight down. It's easier for me to throw it into my content brief specifically like that if I do the step like that. So here are my long tail keywords, right? Plumbing services, Port Orange, not necessarily, because I'm going for South Daytona, but we'll leave that's close enough. Commercial plumbing, 24 hours a day, Roto-Rooter, air conditioning. Don't know what that has to do with plumbing. Clogging drains, types of plumbing, Daytona Beach, drain cleaning services, water heaters. Sounds good enough to me. And then again, so we got our keywords here. Our main keyword, which would be what we used to basically find these keywords. So your main keywords, right? Boom. I don't know why these are so small. Okay. There we go. Daytona Beach plumbers. And then throw that in here. Daytona Beach plumbers, content brief, and then you can put it up into here. This is just an example. So what we are doing is we want to basically explain to the writer why we are writing this content and what it's supposed to be used to help us get, right? So we are writing for a service page. We offer plumbing services, plumbing services for local customers. We provide service directly to the customer's home. We want to focus on getting people to buy, set up a appointment. Right. An appointment, customers. We want to focus on getting people to buy / set up an appointment. We want to focus on conversions and getting new conversions, okay? We also want to, we are targeting homeowners, right? I'm specifically targeting homeowners, not really trying to get any commercial projects with another business. So we are targeting homeowners in the age range of, I would say 20s to 70s, right? And that's just a general outline. Again, you want to tell your writer kind of what you're trying to accomplish with this. And so additional criteria for evaluating content would be like, is the main keyword, Daytona Beach plumbers, being used in the H1, right? So is the main keyword being used something like that, and then we'll say is the main keyword being used in the first 30 words. Are you linking to our other content? For example, if you have other pages on your website, you want to make sure that this links to them, so it creates another backlink to those other pages. And then there's a bunch of other stuff as well. Did you include your content? Are keywords being used in headers and bold or italics? So you get what I'm saying, stuff like that. Did you include all the keywords? Did you include all of our keywords? I'm a terrible speller. It is what it is. That's why I got Grammarly. Did you break up the copy? Did you break up the copy with bullets and subheads? Is the copy free of grammar errors, right? So free of grammar errors. And is the copy readable? So those are like basic criteria. You can go a little bit more in depth, but those generally are good guidelines that you can use. Also you can be like, does it match word count? Is the copy original? Right, plagiarism, stuff like that. There's some shady writers out there that would do something like that. Competitive sources. So the basic way to find something like that, take that keyword, plug it in, go ahead and just pull your first couple of competitors. So we got our directories here, Yelp and Angie's List. We don't want them. We want this URL address, right? That's my competitor. Boom. It's supposed to link. And then we got them, and we'll get this one. Alright, want this to link. And then we'll take not Home Advisor, that's a directory. Daytona Plum, that is a direct URL, a partial direct, I guess you could say. So basically, if you were to type in Daytona Plumbers, Daytona Plumbing, Daytona Plumber, by creating a website with this semi-partial name for your keyword, you're going to easily rank sites. It's legit, it happens. I do it all the time. Mastercraft, plumbing, not really our clientele. So for this, I'm just going to leave for these three. Usually I try to pick like 4, but as most of you guys should probably know, is Google's playing with the algorithms that they're using these days, and it seems to be weighing more towards EAT, which is basically a trusting, which is why like Yelp, Angie's, they show up, Home Advisor. Anyways, so we got our competitive sources, which are like examples for our writer to look at, so that way they can get a feel and idea of what we're looking for. And we can actually go into these real quick. So I would typically manually go in to look at this website, and I'm just looking at the structure, right? See how it's laid out? Don't really care about this so much. I'm looking for content, right? So here's a header, right? And some text. So it's pretty, not a very content heavy website. That's what these guys got going on here. Lou's Plumbing. Got a form there. So short with a form. So this guy's got going on. It was funny, is I think I actually did a video on these guys the other like a couple months ago. Very short form, and then a very short page, and then a contact form. All right. So if you have Ahrefs, I'm gonna give you another tip. You have the capability to get the Ahrefs extension, Chrome extension. So what I mean by that, so we looked at all these sites, right? And then you can look through them and see their DRs with the Chrome extension, right? We said that our site hypothetically was a 15, these are zeros. So we have a good shot. When we look at a business like this, Daytona Plum, they have 0, right? It's right here also. And then look at the page, right? It's just this little text right here. And then a contact form. That's super simple. So SEMRush is telling me that I need to have 1,100 words. I don't know if I would go with 1,100 words, to be honest. I'd probably go with like 900. But anyways, so now we're gonna go for our target word count, which is nice. We'll go back into our content brief because we're just moving down the list, right? So I got my competitors. I already looked at them. I know that they got short content and they got one form on their page. So we got our main keyword here, we got our long tail keywords, and my page structure. So I want words, 900 words, headers. We're going ahead and bullet this out. So I want one H1 always. I don't care if it tells me I need 2 H1s or 3 H1s. I'm not exactly sure on all of those. Pretty short here, so we're gonna let the writer lay it out, and we're gonna see exactly what, because this content is so short from our competitors, I don't need a lot of headers, right? So we'll just leave that for now. So we got a word count is around 900. Go back up to article overview and notes. So we want you to bring a good structure to the article. No large blocks of text. Break up copy with bullets and subheads as well. Right? So it's exactly what we're saying, because me, I don't want to read something like this, right? I'm looking at this and I'm like, no, I'm good. But if this was broken up like how this is, short and sweet, and then some bulleted lists, it's more eye-catching. It's more readable. So bam, that's a basic content brief outline. You can go into it more in depth or whatever, but for this how-to, I'm making it super simple with SEMRush. So we got all this out, right? Boom. And then so what I would do is I would go ahead and typically send this content brief to a writer. And how I would do that is I click on share and get shareable link. And then you want to send this brief to them as a view. You don't want them to edit it. You don't want to really, sorry, this song sucks. Right, so anyways, so you want to make this content where they can't edit it. You only want to allow them to view it. Right. So, but what you could do is you want them to edit it or send somebody an editable link. You just do it like that. But you want view, copy, and then go on Fiverr or Upwork, whatever you use, and post a job and send it to a writer, whatever you want to use. So, anyways, now let's say you got the content brief, the content back from the writer. So now you want to upload it to the site. So let's go into one of these sites here. So I already got a document like this. It's just all straight one words, right? Just pull up dental facts. Fun dental. I think it's this one. All right, and so this is what my writer sent back to me. Right? And then, so you'll just basically take this content and go ahead and move it over here to this WordPress post, and you're going to go ahead and fill it out. Typically what we do is, we'll go ahead and view page. We design the sites in Elementor, and then we use the post feature inside of this to nicely lay out our content. right? So we'll go ahead and hit edit post. And then right here is our H1. So if you look here, fun dental facts for hesitant kids. This is actually a different content one from a different writer. We didn't like the other one, so we changed it. But anyways, so boom, we got it in here. So once you lay out your content that your writer sent you, you want to make sure key things, right? You want to make sure your headers are correct. You want to make sure it's nice and spaced. There's some bullet lists. This is the H2 with bullets. See how nice it's laid out? It's not just like one block of text. People are able to scan this a lot quicker to find what they're interested in. And also I got some bold words here. You could put that into a content brief if you knew how many bold words you should have. So, we could say something like, we need bold, I don't know, 900 words, so we'll say around 10 bolds, italics, let's say 5. But if you knew, you could do something like that. And that's it. I mean, it's really simple. So once you put your content into the post format on here, you want to make sure there's no weird coding going on. So you'll hit into your text from your visual. And you'll just look at the code and make sure it's clean. Make sure it's not like span, style. I'll give you an example. So scroll back up to the top. This right here, right? What if this was bolded and then it had a color? All right, something stupid. And then we go into text. See right here how the H2, which is the first one of our page, and I'm assuming that you just know what H2s are and a little bit of coding. But anyways, so you got span, style, color, strong, which stands for bold. Then you got fundamental facts for kids, strong, span, H2, right? And we're specifically talking about this first H2. That's not clean code. I mean, it works, yeah, sure, but it's not what I do to rank content. So go ahead and unbold that. Go ahead and get that color back to default. I don't know if this will work out. I didn't save it, so it really doesn't matter. You could also Control Z to get out of it. The thing is you just want to look for it that it looks like this. H2. Go ahead and just get rid of this bolding. Simple as that, right? So fundamental facts for kids, update, and then the content will look like this. Once you go down through the list of clean code, it'll just read like this. Very natural, very clean, very good to the user eye. Not one big block of text that somebody just simply doesn't understand. Also, what you want to kind of look for is make sure everything is the same as far as aesthetics. So see the space here, how all these have spaces? You want to keep it consistent throughout the copy. See how this doesn't? Right? And then there's one other thing I noticed as well. If I scroll up to the top, these are bullets and they're right underneath a header versus how this is not spaced, it's not spaced, this is spaced right underneath that, right? See how this is spaced between? Alright, so we'll go ahead and fix that real quick. We'll go in here. Alright, so if they're in bulleted format, I'm cool with it being underneath the header. Good there. Right here. You need to have a space. You need to have a space. Bullet. You need to have a space. 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 And just in case you're ever wondering, sometimes with those spacing you get these weird codes like this. It means a space basically. don't really worry about it too much. And it's okay to have a strong as well, because you're always going to have that when you make something bold. So just keep that in mind. Don't worry about this, and don't necessarily worry about this, but just don't go crazy with your bolds in your content. This is very natural. That's fine. That's what we want. Image class, that's very natural. That's the images that are on the page. I'm more talking about something like, span, what I showed you before. Then there's like, color, blah, 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 blah. So we don't really care for that necessarily. I think we're good here. So we just make sure it looks consistent. Fine. Space, space, space. See how well it reads? Everything is kind of consistent, right? And that's good SEO content using the SEMRush tool. So again, just to recap, you go ahead into your SEMRush, go to start. So anyways, you're on your SEMRush dashboard. It's going to look different than this. I just don't want you to see the other ones. So we click on the drop down on the left. This is on every single page, content marketing, SEO, put in your SEO content template, put in your keyboard. You can go ahead and put it for a specific local area, or if you want to go national, then just switch it real quick and it'll clear it out. Put in the keyword, hit create, which I just did, so we'll just do it again. Let's see what plumbers give us, right? Alright. It's funny because I guess it's still pulled my location. But we got plumbing services, Port Orange, Daytona Beach, Florida. So anyways, we take the keywords, you just click, hold down, go over, Control C, real-time content check, and throw it in. And then also, like I said, you can go ahead and take all your content like this if you wanted to and throw it in here. Just clean up the stuff like this. You know what I mean? You don't really think that shit. This is supposed to be H1, right? And then this is H2. Obviously, the word count's good. It's got terrible scores because this is not for these keywords. So, anyways, but that's what you would do. You would just throw it in here, and then make sure that the format is correct. This should be H2s. See. Alright guys, so hopefully this was somewhat useful. This is exactly what I would use if I was creating content, especially in 2019. There's a couple other tools out there that are really, really good. Maybe I'll make a tutorial on them. But I know SEMRush for a fact does work really, really well. It's very expensive programs between the two of them for SEMRush and Ahrefs, but they work miracles, I'm telling you. Get it. Other than that, guys, please like the video, follow, make a comment down. That will really help me SEO wise. So yeah, thank you guys.